Hello, my name is Nikki and welcome to my channel. On the internet, I go by Azure Nikki. So hello, if you're new, if you're not, welcome back. And today I am going to do a fun video that I love doing these. I'm going to do a tier list for the cast of Radiant Dawn. I literally just looked it up and then this is the first one that I got, so it looks legit. So I'm excited to try it. I just recently beat the Tellius series, so I finished Path of Radiance and then I finished Radiant Dawn, and that series is amazing. I have played Three Houses, Awakening, Fire Emblem Heroes on, mobile, and now the Tellius games, and we will see what I play next. But I do want to play as many Fire Emblems as I can because I really love the series. I've fallen in love with it since I started playing Three Houses a couple years ago. I just want to, preface everything by saying this is going to be a tier list based on what I liked. I'm going to base how much I like them on how good they were as a character. So just like story-wise, their design, how well they were in battle for me, which I know everyone will have a different experience with certain characters. So don't come for me, but also feel free to share your opinions and why you disagree with my tier list or why you agree with my tier list. This is based off of my playthrough, so main characters of like a video game ever? Question mark? Just a warning, this video will contain spoilers, so if you haven't played the game, I suggest not watching because I will be talking about character growths, deaths, and victories, so just letting you know. But anyway, let's get started. So this one is a lovely lady by the name of Almeda. I think I'm saying that name right. But I actually really love her, even though she is kind of a terrible character. I feel like there's so much about her that I don't know still, but she does have a really sad backstory, but I just really hate the way that she was portrayed, later on. I went with the route of killing Peleus, so before that and during and after, she was just insufferable. But her character design is like one of my favorites. I even cosplayed her on Halloween. I'll insert an image somewhere here. So I'm gonna say if she had just been, if she had a better story, or like she had a good story, if she had just had a better portrayal of her personality, she would have been super likable and I probably would have liked her a lot. This, I visually remember her, but I honestly don't really remember. So I'm sorry, I doubt this is anyone's favorite character, but I do not remember her, okay? Aaron, I didn't hate him, but he was just there, man. I didn't use him. I know that some people do and really like him, but y'all, I gave everyone a solid. That's kind of my rule when I play Fire Emblem games is any new characters, I will give them a solid effort and get to know them. But Aaron let me down. Astrid is, oh god, recruiting Astrid was the worst experience I've had recruiting anyone in my life. I didn't hate her, she was just there too. But you know what? I like her better than Aaron, so like if I could put her above him, we'll do that. But girl, what was that thing going on with you and Makalov, girl? Like that was weird. Oh, I did like her little backstory about how I believe she was betrothed, something that I found out at the end, to that really awful guy whose name I forgot. But that was a really cool add-on to her story that gave her points, but again, she was still just there for me. I'm sorry, Astrid fans. Bastion. I actually really liked Bastion. Not super, like, I actually think his character design was pretty cool. He's one of the, like, I feel like every Fire Emblem so far that I played has that one guy that talks like super poetically. I'm gonna put him on good because he was a good unit for me. He just showed up and he was already good. I didn't have to put any investment on him. He delivered. I needed a mage sometimes and he was there, but he was also barely there. Like, I don't know how many maps I can actually use him in, but I would have loved to see him more throughout the games. The Black Knight. Now, I just need to make sure that Zelgius is not just individually in here. Oh, he is. Okay. So the Black Knight is a piece of shit. Okay? I'm just gonna say it. But the Black Knight is a piece of shit. So, yeah, I'm gonna put him under hated. Fuck him, man. In Path of Radiance, I had a group of people that were all together. I forget, it was like an earlier map where you first encounter him, I think, and he comes out of that house. Everyone was all grouped together, you know, fighters and warriors worthy of his reputation. And he singled out Mist and one shot killed her after ambushing them from his house. Like, it was just wrong. And like, he ambushed a child when there were options to fight a warrior. Like, that was just like so unmanly and uncool. Like, it was just nuh-uh, Black Knight, it's a no for me. Boyd, love Boyd. I actually will put him under S. He will be our first S. I love Boyd. I love the brothers in general. He did really, really well as a fighting unit for me. His personality was pretty funny. He had some really funny supports. He had really great growth, and I just love that I got to see a lot of him from the very, very beginning of Path of Radiance to the end of Radiant Dawns. Braum, love Braum. Braum can go there, and I am going to put him there because he was definitely one of my most used units, or tank, like armored units, or he was my most, well, I guess Tornado, but I'll put him above Heinegas, I think is his name. I like that his decision making. I do. So actually I would not want to put him next to Astrid and Aaron. I will put him under good. I might change my mind later. Khalil. Oh my god, I'm getting her name right? Okay, Khalil. She was just there. Okay, so this is Danvid or Devdin. Still quite confused about that whole scenario. He was so good for me when I first got him. I remember he was so hype. He was critting everybody. He was so clutch. He was insane. And then at some point he drops off, despite me having used him that whole time. Deginsia, honestly, really cool fight with him at the end. I did enjoy that. Cool. I don't like how he stood. I don't like where I don't like in general the Goldoan stance on everything at the end. But I do just think like he's like really cool and mysterious throughout the entire game, and I thought that was really neat. So, oh my god, what the fuck is this guy's name? Edward. Bro, you were just there, Edward. Honestly, I almost want to put you under hated. Miss Alencia. Miss Alencia for sure. She's cool. She's like a strong queen, you know? She's a strong queen. She had a really cool like growth thing. Above Braum. Ina was just there for sure. I would put her above Edward. I would put her above Aaron. That's all you get, girl. She was not useful at all. I mean, she has like that passive ability where you stand next to her and you get like more attack power. I don't remember what it was, but anyway, that was useful, but that is it. I think her storyline with Rajayan was cute. She had a lot of potential though, because I think her character design is really cute. I was really excited when I first met her, and like she's a pink dragon, bro. Fiona, girl, get the fuck out of here. Like, she was the most useless, potentially the most useless character in this game. I might be proven wrong later when I'm reminded of someone else, but she was terrible. Actually, so terrible that I hate her. Yeah, her and Edward honestly should just be together. They should honestly just be together. God, what's his name? I saw him for like 2 seconds. And then I didn't even have a chance to use, like, I didn't have a good chance to use him. So he was really just there. Gatry I really liked. But he just was outshone by Braum and Tornado. So I would put him up here. I think his supports with Shinon were really fun to read, so... or it's not supports, sorry, the info. Joffrey, I'll put him on the high end of good. I would actually put him over Devdin, but he was not that great of a unit for me, and story-wise, he was also really quite boring for me, so... Okay, so Gifka. After having to Google a bit because I was like, did I even use him? Like, I still don't know. But anyway, I do remember Gifka. I just don't know anything more about him. So I almost just want to put don't remember you. Sorry. Har, easy S tier. And sorry, Boyd fans, but I actually put Har above him. He has an eye patch. Just love everything about this guy. He was an amazing unit. An amazing battle unit. He's hot, okay, he looks good. Amazing character design for me personally. That I just really like his overall look. And his personality, loved it. I always loved the sleepy personality. I was a huge fan of Linhardt in Three Houses. All his stances throughout this whole war, I always agreed with him. Like, he was just super S tier, super S tier. Heather. Heather was just there. I really wanted to like her because she's so beautiful, right? I'll put her at the top end. No, actually, I would still put Khalil above her. I believe she was just being obsessed with Nephany, which I'm rooting for you, girl, but like, it was just, that was it. That was her identity. She was just obsessed. Hetzel, I believe his name is. I don't know if I'm remembering him correctly, but I actually think I was honestly rooting for him. He was in some bad circumstances and surrounded by the wrong people. And I was really rooting for him, and I really didn't want to kill him at the end, but I believe I did end up having to kill him to have to beat the map, so I was really upset about that. I'm gonna put him under good. I was rooting for him. I was rooting for him to make the right decisions, but he didn't, so... Ike, easy S tier. Like, do I even have to explain anything? Ike is one of the best personalities I've seen in any video game main character ever. I just love how he's straight and to the point. There were so many moments that I was just like in awe that was how he reacted to a situation, because it's like exactly what I was thinking. And I feel like main characters don't speak up enough, and they're not like blunt and to the point like he is. He was just amazing, and he's also just had some really cool funny moments with a lot of the characters. The support conversations or the info conversations that I read were really interesting. Love how he deals with each character's personality. He was the best freaking fighting unit out of the entire group. Duh. Like, he's fucking hot and handsome. Just like, I have nothing bad to say about him. He is honestly, out of all, I've played a lot of video games, he is literally one of the best video game protagonists I have encountered. Please at me in the comments if you disagree. Please, I would love to hear it. But his personality is just too good. Ileana, S tier. Do I put her over Boyd? I do. Not over Har though. Girl, she was beautiful. She's beautiful. Her outfit was on point. Her personality, super relatable. Love how she was always hungry. She was an amazing mage for me. She's just a win. Oh my god, this bitch. Izuka. I think that's his name, right? Am I getting him confused with someone else? This is that guy that manipulated Peleus. I hope I'm getting his name right. But anyway, Izuka. Fuck you. Janaf. I actually really like Janaf, but I didn't get to see too much about him. He had, I think, really super eyesight senses or something, so he was always like the scouter. That's literally all I know about him. I think he has a fun and playful personality. I don't know why. Probably got that vibe from the few conversations of him that I remember, but I don't really know enough about him. So I did really love him as a unit. I did use him a lot. So I'll put him under almost the best. I'm gonna put him under Braum, man. Braum saved me through some, he was very clutch. Okay. Jill was just there. She was just there, but she can go above Astrid. She was never a good unit for me. She did have like a quick growth, you know, moment. She was a little bit racist at the start, but then she figured stuff out and then she changed her ways. I'm sorry, Jill fans, but she was just there for me. I don't hate her though. Kieran, I actually loved Kieran at the start. I really liked his whole like rivalry thing that he had going with Boyd, and Kieran was super strong for me when I first recruited him, but then he fell off at some point very suddenly. It was very disappointing, but Boyd continued on, so let's just say that Boyd definitely won that rivalry. So I will put Kieran at the high end of good here. Definitely above Joffrey. Actually, no, I would still put Joffrey first, but definitely above Jep. Kurt Naga, love Kurt Naga. I don't think there's any reason for me not to, but the only thing that's really holding him back is he was not that very good of a unit, which was quite disappointing. So I'll put Kurt Naga next to Almeda. That makes sense. Kai'Sa, I believe. Kai'Sa, really don't know anything about Kai'Sa. They're a responsible, like, older sibling type to Leith and the girls, but I know that Kai'Sa also is one of the first like non-binary characters, I believe, or something like that, which I think is super cool. But that is all Kai'Sa has going for them. They were a terrible unit to use. So Kai'Sa, you can go on the high. I definitely like you better than Heather. Oh my god, who is this? Is this Largo? Did Largo have purple hair? Question mark? Whatever. You know what? I dig the purple hair. So points for character design, I guess. But that's pretty much all he's got going for him. He was actually a really great unit for me in Path of Radiance, but I don't think you got to use him in Radiant Dawn, which is really disappointing, I guess, because he's a dad or whatever. So I'll put him on the lower end of good, only because he was really good and useful for me for a small window of time in Path of Radiance. Oh my god, Julie! Julie, or Laura. So, the story behind this character is her name is Laura in game, as you guys know, but for some reason, I just had this, like, innate, like, just desire to call her Julie. Like, she just looked like a Julie to me, so throughout the entire playthrough, I called her Julie. She was just Julie. She just became Julie. Julie was cool. I don't really have anything more to say about Julie, except she was a really great and useful healer for me for a really long time. I wouldn't say she's almost the best because her personality was very bland for me, but she was a really great healer, so I'll put her on the higher spectrum of good. Leanne. I mean, I'm pretty biased toward the herons. I think the herons are all beautiful and majestic, and I want to be one. High A tier. I think Leanne went through a lot. She went through a lot, and she was still, you know, herself. She still had her happy moments, and she was still like, she wasn't letting it drag her down, you know? She was just a good, consistent character, and she's beautiful, with a beautiful voice. Alright, Lacane, fuck you. Yeah, I definitely hate Izuka more, so Izuka can stay last. Leonardo, I actually really like Leonardo, but the sad thing about him is, he was not that great of a unit, and I don't know anything about him. I think his character design is great and he had really cool potential. Out of the Dawn Brigade, Leonardo was one of my favorites, so he's definitely an A for me. I would put him above these guys. Lathe, I love Lathe. Lathe is an easy A. I would put Lathe Next to Janaf, probably above Janaf. Layth fell off for me though at some point. She was one of my most played characters with the most kills in Path of Radiance, so I cannot forget that, and I will not forget that. I do love Layth. Lucia, easy A, easy A. Did I put her above or below Elincia? I'm going to put her below Elincia. I think they would almost be the same. Love the cutscene where she was like, you know, almost about to be executed, and then Ike and them save her. Such a good cutscene. And then her hair gets snipped, and she becomes a short-haired bombshell beauty. Yeah, she's just a badass bitch. Love it. Yeah, I wish I got to use her more in more maps. That's my only complaint. Okay, so Ludwig. I remember him, but I don't remember him enough to really give him a grade, so I want to put him here. And Liar. Okay, Liar was fun. Liar had some fun conversations to read. So I'm just gonna put her under, they were just there next to Kai'Sa, and I'm gonna put her under Kai'Sa, because I think Kai'Sa was more cool and groundbreaking at the very least. Makalov, Jesus. Makalov. Do I hate him? So while I really do dislike Makalov, he was actually a really good unit and very helpful for me for some maps. For some maps where I had no choice but to bring him, he was actually pretty useful. So I don't want to say he was hated, but he was certainly just there. And you know what? Let's put him next to Astrid and Ina. There you go. Wait, I do like Ina more than him though. So honestly, I like Makalov more than I like Eren. I said it. Marsha, another unit that was not just, she just didn't cut it for me on the battlefield. She was not, I don't know, for some reason she just wasn't that great. Personality wise, cute, I guess. You know, she was just trying to get a hold of her brother the whole time. I think she had some good opinions throughout the story, so I'll just put her at the bottom end of good. I would put her probably above Largo, but that's it. I'm sorry, Marsha fans. I know I'm gonna get hated for that one. Meg is adorable. Meg is adorable, and I don't think I poured so many resources into a character more than I poured them into Meg, and she still was a bad unit. But I love her character. I love her cute little personality. I love how she went far and wide. To find Zahark, even though that couple is weird as fuck. Definitely don't ship them. I think the whole storyline with Meg and Braum was really wholesome and cute, and I love what they did, how they had them separated on the different sides of the war. I thought that was neat. So I am definitely gonna put her, okay, you know what? I'm gonna put her right next to Leonardo. Sorry. I just love Layth and Janaf too much. Mia! Okay, Mia was another character that I tried to use early. She did not deliver, so I pulled her out of my group, but then I continued to pour a bonus EXP to her later on, and she remained mid the entire time for me. Personality-wise, I don't really have anything to say. I think she's just fun and cheerful, I think. So I don't have too much of an impression on her. I'm gonna have to put her like, I think I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this one, but I'm gonna have to put her in good under Bastion. Okay, I will say the most points that she's getting is her character design. She definitely has a cool, like, I love her hair, I love her outfit, and just like her overall look. I think if she was just a better unit for my playthrough and I got to see more of her personality, for sure she would have won more points. Micaiah. Oh my gosh. Am I gonna get hated for this? Or like am I gonna be trolling if I put her in anything that's not S tier? She's not gonna go in S tier. I actually think Micaiah... It felt like Micaiah was forced onto me, and they tried their best to make her likable and cool, but it didn't... It was a miss for me. As a battle unit, she was not great. I mean, she was great. She was useful because she had heals, so that's how she didn't know what was going on. Like, she was making all these drastic decisions, killing people, like, without knowing the full story. And then she had this whole Yune thing, like, that's everything. Her character was a mess. I didn't hate her. I'll put her at the high end if she was just there. Like, she was very much there. She was just forced upon me, basically. Like, yeah, sorry. Mist, I love Mist. Mist is a cutie, really great healer. I like that she's just like, she was pure enough to hold the medallion. I think that was cool. I don't know if I have my, like, her, I can say her flaw is that her design is pretty weak. Her, like, character design was pretty boring for me. I will put her at the low spectrum of almost the best. Definitely above Kurt Naga. Yeah, probably on par with Leonardo for me. Mordecai. I love Mordecai. Mordecai is definitely up here. Mordecai, probably next to Leith. But Mordecai is truly winning with their personality. Mordecai's personality was so adorable. He's just like, it reminds me of Didu, but like Laguz version. Like, I just freaking love Mordecai. Muarim, I had the same thing happen with him as Mordecai. Muarim was super strong and useful for me to a point, and then at some point he fell off and he kept dying, so I had to pull him out. But I will put him... literally, honestly, these are two of the same character. I don't know enough about Muarim's personality to say that he's better than Mordecai. I love Mordecai's personality. He's great. Honestly, I think I'd put Mordecai over Leith. Yeah, sorry. Nasala. Okay. Nasala. This one's gonna be a tricky one because Nasala, I think, had really, like, he had really great exposure throughout the game. He's an asshole, he's a dick, and he's a piece of shit. Through most of it. But holy crap, is he one of the best units in the game. So I'm really torn here. I think the thing with him and Leanne is like, whatever. It could be cute, I guess. I do like the idea of him being shipped with someone so like sweet and gentle, but like not our sweet Leanne. But anyways, I think I'm gonna put him right next to Leanne. I don't think I can put him in the best. He was just he fucking trafficked racing. He has an amazing character design, very handsome guy. We cannot deny this. His story arc is super interesting to me. Like, I was never bored when he was on the screen. He was just a dick. That's it. The only thing holding him back from S tier is he was a dick. I can't get. Yeah, he trafficked racing. Sorry, Nasala. Nyla, love Nyla. I feel like I don't know enough about her personality, but honestly, I don't care. Like, hot, beautiful, character design. She's a queen of wolves. Like, amazing battle unit. Personality, I tend to be a fan of the, you know, quiet, like, stoic, badass bitches in anime, so that she kind of falls under that trope. Nasir actually has really, really, really cool character design, but I just don't like what he did. Like, and I thought he was gonna have some really cool moments in the game, but he really didn't. Like, I really just don't like what the stuff that he did. I just don't agree with it. So I'm gonna put him at the high end of good. It's Nalucci? Oh, it is. Okay, Nalucci. Nalucci was cute. He was cute. Honestly, I'd put him above all of these good people, but I wouldn't put him in almost the best. He was cute and he was useful. He was just a little slow for me. Neffany. Neffany was another character that I know is super popular, but she just did not pop off for me. So I did end up pulling her out of my group, but she was just overshined by Braum for me, unfortunately. So I'll put her under good. Probably next to Gatry. Oh, I like Mia more than her though. So probably next to Mia. Oh gosh. I'm sorry. I'm definitely gonna get hated for that one. Nolan. Okay, Nolan I really liked when it was just like the Dawn Brigade at first. He was actually one of the strong ones, but then, you know, as you know, he falls off insanely. But he helped me get through those early maps, so I really appreciate that. I also think that he looks like Sean Bean, and I think his character design does look really cool. I do love long hair. Big fan of long hair. His personality was alright. So I'll put him... I like him better than Gatry, I think. Better than Devdin. Yeah, better than Devdin. Bro, who even is this guy? I mean, I remember his face, but like, what even is his name? And what did you do? I'm pretty sure this guy was a piece of shit, but don't remember you, sir. Sorry. Oliver, fuck you, bitch. I can't even believe that he was recruitable. Oh. I almost put him above. I almost put him above Fiona. And I can't believe he was in Radiant Dawn. Like, but I can say that where he wins points, and the only one place that Oliver wins points is his theme song, is like my favorite in the entire game. Oliver is probably the only unit. Oliver and maybe this guy, I don't think I actually got to use him. I think I actually did maybe try him for one run and then game over and then took him out. But Oliver, I think, is the only character in the entire game that I actually did not even try to use. Because of the timing of when I got him. But also, fuck you, Oliver. Fuck you. Don't care. Oscar. S tier, baby. Oscar was such a good unit. He actually has a really cool Donald-like growth story for my playthrough. He was so terrible. He had the worst luck getting the worst level ups throughout the entirety of Path of Radiance, but I did not stop using him. I did not give up on him. I thought he was the cutest thing. I love his eye smiles. I love how he was kind of like the mother of between the brothers. And then when it came to Radiant Dawn, at some point he just popped off, and he was one of my best units, right under Ike. So he was actually better than Har, more useful than Har for me on the battlefield. So it's actually like a crazy growth, and I love those growth stories in Fire Emblem. It's why I love Donald and stuff. So yeah, absolutely nothing bad to say about him. I love Oscar. He was one of my favorites. Peleus, Peleus was dumb, man. Peleus. The only thing I can say that is good about him is he looks like he has a cool design, like a character design is cool. Like, but his character design does not match his personality at all. I'm gonna put him next to the Black Knight, but above Fiona. Raphael, I love Raphael. I mean, again, I'm really biased towards the Herons. I can't say that Raphael will be S tier, but I think I will put him at the top of A tier for now. Yeah. I do like him better than Leanne because of his song would, I believe he could use it for all 4 squares around him, and that was very, very useful. So but yeah, I just love both him and Leanne. Is this Rajayan? He's included? Listen, I don't know anything about Rajayan, okay? But let me tell you, when he was shown on the screen for the first time, I gasped. He is hot. He's hot and he has a very tragic story, which I always love a good tragic story. He's cool enough to make it here, but only based on the things that I know. So it's a bit unfair. Ranulph, easy, easy, easy. I would put Ranulph right under Har. Love Ranulph. And if you guys don't know, I am a Ike and Ranulph shipper. I know there's a lot of Soren, Sor Ike shippers out there, but I mean, you'll hear my opinion about that when I get to Soren. But Ranulph, love Ranulph throughout the entire game series. Everything he said, I always agreed with. I love his personality. Like, it's just, yeah, his character design, top tier. Love the heterochromia, love his cyan colored hair and the little headband hat thing. He was a really great unit for me. His dialogue was always interesting. Great, great, great character. Definitely S tier for sure. Duke Renning, oh my god. He was just there, let's be real. I'll put him above Heather. He was just there. Like, I get it, he was like evil, he was in a trance or whatever, and then he came to. I have nothing. I have nothing. He was just there. Raisin. Easy S tier. Alright, so between Har and Raisin, I do choose Raisin. I mean, before I even started playing Radiant Dawn, the Tellius games, I played Fire Emblem Heroes, and I was a huge Raisin fan already. I didn't know anything about him, but he's just so beautiful. And I actually really loved his personality throughout the entire game. He had every right to be angry as he was, but he still persevered and kind of overcame that anger and chose his own personal happiness. And I think he did get, for the most part, a happy ending. Big, big Raisin fan over here. Big. Rice. Yeah, I used him a bit only because he was one of the only available healers. I didn't really care too much for him other than that. I'll put him above these guys. Still, though, I did use Khalil a bit more. You know, I'll put him above... yeah. If he wasn't a healer, I probably never would have used him. Rolf. Rolf is adorable, and I love the relationship that he has with Shinon. He never got strong for me. I knew it was going to come if it kept going, but then at some point, his investment wasn't worth it when Shinon was just killing things for free without investment. So I did drop him eventually. Do still like him though, so I'll put him on the high spectrum of good, definitely above Nalucci. Soniki. Okay, Soniki. I actually really like Soniki. I feel like that might be a hot take. Soniki had some identity stuff going on, and that's really hard to go through. And when she became a fighting unit, like, she had some really useful magic. And when I got the blessing from Yune, she had like Meteor on or something, or she had bolting or whatever. I can't remember what the spell was, but she was killing people. She was the one that killed Diginsia. This little girl. So I actually really like her. Probably put her above Alencia. Yeah, let me know if you agree or disagree about Soniki. I feel like that might be a hot take. Let me know. Sephiran. Ugh, Sephiran. I'm still confused about him to this day. I was always excited about Sephiran because I knew him again from Fire Emblem Heroes, and he is my type. Like, this is the kind of anime guy I'm into. He is hot for sure. And the first times that I met him in Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn, he seemed like a really, really great character. But at some point, I guess he took a nosedive and a huge turn for the worse. Him and Ashra or Ashuner, like, seeing all that stuff with him in the God world, I think was really neat and did add points to him. He could have been one of the best, but I will instead put him Like, I don't want to put him under almost the best because he's fucking evil, but he's hot. But he has a cool story. I guess over here. Just because they're a bad, evil character doesn't mean that they can't be, like, you know, doesn't mean that they can't be rated well. And I also heard that, so I know that you can recruit Sephiran, and I watched a video where you do recruit him, and his stats are bonkers. So I haven't personally used him as a fighting character myself, but I've seen what he can do, and I know that he's a badass bitch. So I just know that. Honestly, I'd put him over Rajayan. What am I kidding? Shinon! Oh, Shinon. He's another Nasala for me. I almost said Naluchi. I fucking hated him. When I first met him, I thought, hell yeah, I'm excited. Long hair anime bae. Love me long hair anime baes, okay? That's just I'm just into guys with long hair. So I was really excited, and then I learned that he was a dick, so I said bye. But then he became one of the best units. Like, I want to say he was like on par with Ike at some point. If he had the special power or weapons and powers that Ike did, like, he was literally right up there. So in terms of battle, but he's just a dick. And he's like, I didn't see any growth from him about him being racist, so he loses a ton of points there. I think he goes in S tier. Even though his personality was shit. Yeah. He had really cool cutscenes too, like that cutscene with Rolf, with the bow and stuff. Super cool. But yeah, I would like to hope in my head, in my fanfic, in my head, that he actually grows to be a good guy, less racist, and nice to everyone. But Sigrun, beautiful girl. I can just say that the only thing I can say about her is that her personality was just bland. Like, she was just a guard. I think her relationship with Tanith was really cool. Love Tanith. So I am going to put her under... I'll put her above Rolf. But yeah, just nothing setting her apart. Like, her battle was all right. Scrimmer was wild, man. He was, yeah, I didn't really care for him that much. He was annoying and just your classic, like, oh, just let me fight everybody, blah, blah, blah. I'll put him right under Micaiah. He was just there. He kept the story interesting with his personality, but that's all he's got going for him. He was a good unit, but didn't care to use him still. Soren. Okay, here's the real hot take that everyone is gonna, like, dislike the YouTube video for, but I did not like Soren. I remember when I first saw Soren, I was really excited. Again, I love the long hair characters, anime characters, so I was like, ooh, long hair, love black hair. He looked edgy, but then he started talking, and I just didn't like his opinions, but I understand why he had those opinions after learning about his backstory, and, you know, everyone, like, had a side in this war, so I get it. For someone that I poured no resources into, he actually stayed relevant on the battlefield for me. So I didn't take him to a lot of battles, but then I would randomly take him to one toward the end, and he was still useful. Like, he was still holding his ground. So actually, I think he was really good. For me, he has good character design, decent battle, so it seems. So I will put him probably next to Sephiran. Put these three long black-haired guys sitting all together. Soz. Soz, I thought was a pretty cool character. I thought it was really neat that he was just like this super useless extra boy in the first game, and then all of a sudden he became a very prominent character in the next game. I absolutely did not see that coming. I thought it was really neat and cool. Not a fan of his crop top. Not that there's anything wrong with wearing them, but I just did not like it on him. He was a really great unit for a while, and then he fell off. So I will put him... I'll put him next to above, yeah, I think I still like Meg better. Meg was just cute. Sorry. Stefan, easy S tier. I would put Stefan here. Recruiting him is a headache. but recruiting him is 100% worth the headache. And I do think it's really cool that for someone who's so hard to get and probably most people would not get, that he had a decent amount of like backstory to him. So I think it's really cool how a little bit of him was revealed every once in a while. Tanith, love Tanith. Tanith was one of my strongest units in POR. I love her character design. One of my favorites in the entire game. It's just sad I didn't get to use her as much in Radiant Dawn. I did get to use her, just not as much. So compared to some other people that I had, I think I would put her S tier for sure, above Nyla. Tornado. Tornado's a really cool character. Tornado is really cool, and his usefulness on the battlefield, I don't even have to explain. So I actually think I'll put Tornado probably right under Nasala and Raphael. But when I first met him, I didn't even think, like, the thought of him being recruitable didn't even cross my mind. He really just looked like an extra guy, but I actually really like his character design. I like that his armor looked lilac. I mean, I think it is lilac. At the barn, easy S tier. I'm just so biased for these, but he's got to go right next to Raisin, but right under Raisin. I do still like Tabarn more than Har, but not by much. Tabarn is hot. Okay, I think we're seeing a pattern here. We're putting a lot of hot guys there, but we also got a lot of hot girls up here too, okay? There's a lot of hot girls. But yeah, Tabarn is just great, and he was like also one of the best units in the game. Right up there with Ike, never let me down. I could literally throw him into a field of 100 units and he wouldn't die, and he would probably kill all of them. And I like his relationship with Raisin. I do ship that. Titania, okay, here's an S tier for sure. Titania, I'm gonna put right above Har. I actually ship those two. I know Har and Jill are a ship, but I like to make up my own ships, even though these two really had no interactions together. They were consistently on my team the entire game, so I started shipping them naturally. They were just like both axe people, mounted axe people, like they're just badass bitches. So, and she always delivered. She was just always a badass bitch from the first map to the end. Tormod. Tormod was literally just there. Tormod showed up, and then Tormod left. That's all I can say. I really have what happened to Tormod? Is he doing good or what? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Ulki. Ulki is a really great character, but between Ulki and Janaf, I always prefer Janaf. He's just a lot faster. So, and then Ulki had a unique design, but I didn't really care for it too much. So I'm gonna put him at the high spectrum of good. Probably right under Sigrid. Voltome. Oh, this bitch. Okay, first of all, I will say, even though he's ugly as fuck, I do love his character design. He reminds me of Griffith from Berserk, which I'm a big fan of. And they just like did a really good job of creating a character that you just want to punch in the face, you know? We'll put him up here, but not above the Black Knight. Vika. Vika was definitely just there. I honestly have nothing to say about Vika, except I wish I got to see you more. Above Tormod. I wish I got to see Vika more. Vika was useless when I did get to use her. Other than that, I got nothing else to say about you. Volk. Volk is actually really cool. I wish we got to see more of him in Radiant Dawn. When he showed up, I was almost shocked because I thought we just weren't going to hear from him. But he actually played a huge and important role in the story in the game. He was an alright unit, definitely better than Heather. I liked that, you know, the storyline with him was that he would come by, like he would help if we paid him appropriately, and the game stuck true to that and made you pay whenever he opened doors and stuff. So that's neat, and I do think he is a really cool looking character. So I will put him under almost the best, probably right above Meg. Valug. Oh my goodness, Valug. I loved Valug. Valug was one of my best fighting characters as well. So I am gonna put Valug probably high 8s here. I don't know much about him, but again, I'm a fan of that mysteriousness. His character design is super cool, and I like how he stayed a wolf. Like, that's just fucking cool and badass. So I think I'm gonna put him under Lucia, but above Braum. I do love Braum, but I used Valug a lot more than I used Braum. Zelgius, super cool character. I know he's the Black Knight, but yeah. He's definitely an S tier character, I would say. He's super good looking. I liked the conflict that he had, the internal conflict that he had going with the war and everything going on. It was really cool to see that. And then his ending was also really sad to watch. Probably right under Ranulph. All right, Zaharak, love Zaharak. He's definitely, he was a great unit. I had to stop using at some point because he got overshined, but he was still good. I like his personality. I like how he was not interested in Meg, but he was like not mean to her or anything. And I also think he's got long hair. He's hot. He's a sword master. He's right up there. He's right. I would put him probably next to Braum because they're buddies. But I think that concludes my tier list. I think I probably have a ton of hot takes. I'm sorry if I offended you and your favorite characters, but I would love to hear what you agree with and what you disagree with. How did your characters perform in your playthrough? I know a lot of people, I think a lot of people popped off with Nephany, Mia, or Aaron. Maybe more Jill, I think, was really good for a lot of people. Marsha, they just didn't cut it for me. Were any of my S tiers shocking to you guys? Let me know. Any of my A tiers? Also let me know. Here's the full tier list. And I will also post a link to an imager of this tier list so you can like look at the image because I realize it doesn't fit on the screen right now. This was a fun video to do. I love doing tier lists, so if you would like to see me do another tier list, or if you have any other fun video ideas for me to do on YouTube, let me know. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to help me out. And I also just recently reached 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So thank you guys so much for all the support, even though I haven't been very consistent in uploading. I do really want to try to upload more videos. I do want to try also starting another YouTube playthrough soon. So yeah, if you guys have any video suggestions, please comment them below, help me out. But I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.